Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap session for Wednesday, August the 24th, 2016. It's a Wednesday. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we come together to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market. And then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our main hypotheses for the day. Our trade plan is an if, then, that. We look at the different possibilities based on market structure, and then we put together our four key hypotheses. Therefore, we've created a plan in case not knowing which one of the hypos is going to play out. This is a subscription room, so if you'd like to come in and check it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog. We do everything live in the go-to. We do these live pre-market sessions, and we do live trading and analysis during the course of the RTH trading session. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, so yesterday our main hypothesis was a open auction out of range, a move down to test the 85.50 to 83.50, 84 area, and then rotate up and go and put in a new all-time high. That was Hypo 1. Hypo 2 was an open auction outer range, a push up, and somewhere after putting in a new all-time high, a rotation down through and back into yesterday's value and towards the naked VPOC at the 80, I think it's 80.50, 80.50 or 80.75. And Hypo 3 was an open auction in range or out of range, a open drive, a push up, a chop in the 89 to 90, 75 area, and then a push to new highs and continuation towards the 2100. Kind of got a bit of Hypo 2, but really didn't get any oomph. We only had a 7-point range again. We put in a very weak low. We did put in a measured move on this this low. I posted the chart in the room just before the end of the session. We were watching the move off of this zipper right here, and we were looking for the target down here at 82.75 with the extended target down at 81. And based on the weak low that we put in overnight, we were looking for that continuation pattern to play out and move down to test these levels and to take a trip through the gap zone. If you look here, we had this gap zone right here, and we tested the top of it coming into the end of the RTH session, and then we made a trip through it. So this gap zone will now be eliminated from the flex levels, and it's been tested from below and then tested from above. So let's just take a step back and bring up our basic chart. I always like to start my day with a basic candlestick chart, 9 EMA, 20 SMA, and basically looking for slope and separation where the trend is being challenged or violated. Long multi-year upward trend. We violated it in the end of 15, beginning of 16, and then we've taken it back, and we've gone, and yesterday we put in a new all-time high at 2191.50. We do have continuation pattern starting to set up here on the monthly. On the weekly, talk about it. This is only the second time in history that we've have the possibility of having a 9-week bull consecutive weeks Our open of the week is 81.75. We went down there overnight and tested it, and they found buyers down there at 21.80.75, and bounced back up. But right now, we're on Wednesday. We have 3 days more of trading. We're only trading, about 6 points above the month open. We don't know if this is going week open. We don't know if this is going to be a positive week or a negative week. It's only happened once, one other time in 20 years. So, but it could happen. And we do have good slope and separation on the weekly. Going to the daily, and see we've got this upward trend continuing on the daily. On the 4-hour, again, we've got the start of an upward trend after going into a consolidation mode for the last few days, and we're getting this push back higher. On the 1-hour, you can see we're above the 9 and the 20, but we're basically in a bit of a consolidation on the 1-hour. On the 30-minute, we are testing the trend right now. We're below the 9. We've come down, haven't quite got to the 20 SMA. Remember that 2085.50 is a key CLVN for us, microcomposite LVN as well. But right now, the trend is still up. We've got a little bit of weakness coming in. There's a naked cross down here at 84.75, so mark that on your journal as a possibility if we get below and stay below the 9 EMA, which is sitting at 26.25. 15-minute, we are below the 9 and 20, more of a consolidation pattern on the 15-minute, and then the 5-minute, we're below the 9 and the 20, and have a possibility of a downward start of a trend here. I've got, I just want to give you a bigger picture. I'm running this modified shift pitchfork, which is projecting that we still have not tested the upper line of the upward sloping fork yet. And then we have this upward sloping wedge that we've got, and it shows better on the daily. You can see that we've got this, and then if breaking below the lower line here could bring us down into that 72.50 key line in the sand. So watch for a break below this, and as I move down into the smaller time frames, I'll take this down to 1 hour. You can see that we have a downward sloping broadening wedge, and so we have to watch out for a possible breakout pattern to the upside on this. So a break above that, I'm thinking 88 area. We've got to be looking for a continuation up into testing the upper line of the upward sloping wedge, ascending wedge, whatever you want to call it, and back up towards that 2200 and a test of this line here. So we've got some conflicting patterns as we move down in the time frame, so just be aware of that. All right, taking a look at the big structure though, we've got our microcomposite VPOC, which is running from the 5th through till yesterday. Our VPOC is at 21.79 1/4. They came down and tested this area and found buyers down here. We bounced basically about 7 ticks off of this. We do have another gap up day yesterday. It wasn't so much a gap and go, but it did put in a new all-time high. That's significant. We're currently trading right here near the CLVN, the microcomposite LVN, at 85.50. The first high volume node above that is at 87, and then there's a smaller one here at at 88.50, and that's the one I'm going to be using to give us guidance to the upside continuation pattern and a break above that descending broadening wedge that we've got as a possible continuation pattern up. And then we've got the CHVN at 2190, and then our all-time high at 91.50. Nobody can tell you what's going to happen, but start thinking that if we get below the 84.50 that we put in yesterday on that week low, that we're likely to come down at least to the 83.50. We've got naked close at 81.75 and the overnight low at 80.75, and this naked VPOC from Monday here at 80.50. And then when we get down here, things really get a lot of confluence down here between the 69 and the 53. I'm still looking for a move to come back down into this area. There's so much repair work that we've got to do. Our daily ATR right now is running below 14. It's at 1373. That's the 20 period daily, and off of the overnight high so far of 87.75, our downside ATR target really didn't move much from yesterday. It's still down. Yesterday was 74.25. Today it's 74. Remember that 74 is also our month open. I don't know why it's moved down here, but our month open and our daily downside ATR target are sitting on top of each other right now. So, the key levels to watch for today, obviously, is 85.50. The 84.50, if you want to be really safe, you could wait for the 83.25, but you do have the high here of 83.50, which is the value area high. I'm sorry, the range high from Monday. And so you could wait to get below 83.25 and then take the short into the 79.25. We've got double distribution here between the 77.25 and 79.25. Still have some repair work to mature the auction in this area as well. And then our key line in the sand is going to be the 72.50 still, and below 72.50 we're below the value. We're inside of the prior microcomposite that we broke out of on the 5th, and I'd be looking for a bigger move, with the first target being the 67.25 CHVN and value area high for the microcomposite, and then anything below 65.50. I think you got a really nice short into the 60.75 and 59.50, and all this confluence we've got down here. Well, it starts actually up here at 69.25 and all the way down. So that's the big picture. Taking a look at the overnight. We opened auction in the RTH session. They tried to get it up through and get back inside of the value area from the RTH session. They failed, and then they rotated all the way down, hit that first target at 82.75. That was the primary target on the zipper measured move, and then we rotated back up to the midpoint and the VWAP and the range low from the RTH session, and the seller stepped in, initiative seller stepped in and rotated us down and went and tested that 80.75 just above that naked VPOC, and right at our extended target that was 81. And then Europe opened and they took it all the way back up into balance at the 85.75 VPOC and chopped around there, tried to get back inside of value, rejected value again, and put in the overnight high and came down, and now we're just chopping it around this overnight VPOC, which is at 85.75. So moving our numbers over, our overnight high. Now again, there's news coming out that just come out. Let's just check the news here. We don't have a ton of news. We just should have had HPI month over month. Expected 0.3 came out at 0.2, so not much of a miss. The bigger news is going to be existing home sales. They beat really strongly yesterday. We had that 10 o'clock new home sales, the 654 versus 575 and previous 582. So this is likely to be a beat as well, with the housing market being pretty strong right now. And then the 10:30 we have crude inventories, and that's really going to be the big one. Crude has been leading the ES, and then later on tonight we've got Japan. Remember, the big news is starting tomorrow. We've got core durable goods, unemployment, durable goods orders, flash services, PMI, but the big one's going to be the start of the Jackson Hole Symposium. And I think Yellen isn't speaking until Friday, I believe. But there's, Friday at 10 o'clock. So, but there's likely to be stuff that's said at the Jackson Hole Symposium. So just be careful tomorrow and Friday going into the weekend. So let's get our numbers over here. So our overnight high is 87.75. We're only trading a point or two below it, so we still have 30 minutes to put in new overnight high. They did that yesterday. They put in the overnight high and just before the open, and then broke it right away with that open drive. Our overnight low is down at 80.75, one tick above yesterday's VPOC, and our Globex overnight VPOC is 85.75, right near the close, just below yesterday's overnight VPOC. So we are finding some balance here through the last couple sessions. Except for this, we get two VPOCs up at the 89. We already took that one. We've got the one from 2 days ago up at 90, or sorry, from yesterday. Not much more information I can get from that. So let's take a look at what our levels are going to be. We don't need this anymore. There is an LVN here at 82. There's also one here at 84.75. Obviously, I'm going to be using the range low from yesterday as a trade area at 84.50. Below that, I'm looking for them to test this 83.50, but the target is going to be the naked close at 81.75, the overnight low at 80.75, and the naked VPOC. And then all the levels below really remain the same. I'm going to use the 77.50 area, because if we don't hold and bounce off of 79 or 77, we're likely to come down and test the month open at 74, and then our key line at 72.50. And then all these targets remain the same below. So taking a look at the levels above us, we do have that 87 value area low from yesterday. This is a very ugly looking profile. This is very blunt. There's no Gaussian distribution on this profile. So we're likely, if we get back up into inside of value, to push through this pretty quickly as they move to take a trip through value. So I'm going to use the value area low, and then the value area high is only 2 ticks off of the all-time high, so obviously we'll be using the all-time high and the IB and range high from yesterday. And then above, our daily upside ATR target off of the low overnight is up at 94.50, and then we've got the 2200, and there's not much to guide us up here. We do have a couple measured moves, so let's take a look at them. We still have that measured move at 93.75, but I'm using the ATR target just above it, and then we've got a measured move at 2209.75. I'm going to be using the rule of 10. First test into the 2200. I'm expecting a push through to the 2210, and then we've got this megaphone on the daily. It's the bigger picture, and the upside of that megaphone is all the way up here, at the 2204 area, but that expands higher as we move through time. So right now, the key level for me is going to be, if we can get above the 87 and get through value, especially if we get through the 88.50. I am going to put an 88.50 here as a secondary, because we have to, even if we get above the 87, I'm expecting that overnight high to get taken out at that point in time, but we might find some resistance here at that little CLVN. I don't think it's really strong. I think that the higher probability is continuation up to 90, but it'll be a nice spot to add into a winning trade towards that takeout of the naked VPOC at 90. So we've got lots of stuff above us, lots of stuff below us. We just have to trade the levels as we see it. So what is my main hypothesis for the day? My main hypothesis for the day, we did see some weakness come in, and they did go to the 80.75 overnight, back into that 79.25. So we saw buyers come in. So right now, my main hypothesis is I'm looking for them to fail now that we put in at 91.50, new all-time high. So my main hypothesis is an open auction in range, a push-up, and somewhere between the 87 and 88.50, maybe even the 90, but a failure to break out of the value above, rotate down through, chop around on the low, and then push down through towards this 79, 77 area, and taking out the overnight or the naked VPOC, the overnight low, and the naked close. So my main hypothesis is a open auction in range but out of value, a move up into value, a failure to get through value, and then rotate down through to the 80 and pushing through down and chopping around into the close. Maybe a late day probe to test the lower side of the balance there between 74.25 and 72.50, key line in the sand. That's hypo 1. Now, my hypo 2, because of how we are trading in the larger time frame, is as well weighted as my hypo 1. So either one can play out here, and I'm not going to give bias to one or the other until they show me. But hypo 2 will be an open auction out of range, in range, close the gap, push through, and either fail to get inside of Monday's range at 83.50, or dip into it and take out the overnight low, and then find buyers again down in this area here, and then rotate up through, taking out the main target above, at 2190 and chopping around and pushing and putting in a new all-time high. So that's hypo 2. Hypo 2 is open auction in range, a move down, and then somewhere between the 84 and the 80 level, a rotation, finding responsive buyers down here and rotating us up through into range, take out the 2190, chop around in this area, and then get a probe to new all-time highs. That's hypo 2. Hypo 3 is an open auction in range, fail to hold the range, push down, chop around in the 79, 77 area, and then a push down into the 72, chop here, and then push and come and take out the 69.50 and close somewhere down towards the 67 and a quarter. So hypo 3. And then again, just as hypo 2 is almost weighted to hypo 1, hypo 4 is almost weighted the same as hypo 3. We're really at a decision point here for whether we get continuation or a intermediate pullback. It's Wednesday of the 9th bull week, so we can get continuation, but we could get failure as well. So the fourth hypo is an open auction in range, a push up into value, chop around taking out the 90, chopping around the 90, 91 area, and then a push through and a continuation day and a move up into the 2200, creating a trend day up. So that is hypo 4. Currently, right now, we don't need these drawings. Those are already complete. So right now, we are holding the Keltner center line. It is at the range low from yesterday at 84.50. If we hold it, look for them to rotate up into the upper Keltner line. That'll take us up into this 90. If we don't hold, a move down to test the lower Keltner is going to take us down into that 79 area. So you can see we're well within the daily ATRs, and we're well within the 3 standard deviation above or below the Keltner center line. So that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.